breakfast meal prep. Ooh, that was a bit of a tongue twister. Breakfast meal prep. Meal prep. Breakfast. Hey guys, welcome to today's video. I'm going to jump in and make a batch of overnight oats and do a little bit of breakfast meal prep and have some things ready to go in the fridge. And overnight oats is probably one of the easiest things to pull together. So that's what we're going to do in today's video. If we haven't had the chance to hang out before, welcome to my channel. My name is Nikki. I'm a mum of 3 and I like to share all of the tips and tricks that have helped us budget better, save money around the house, demolish all of our debts, skyrocket our savings, and still have heaps of frugal fun along the way. So if that sounds like something that you guys might be interested in, I would love if you would come along and join the fun. Maybe hit that subscribe button so you can be notified when my new videos come out. But today we're doing a bit of breakfast meal prep, and I'm going to show you guys my really simple, easy overnight oat recipe. Alright, so if you haven't made overnight oats before, you might be wondering what they are and maybe even a little bit hesitant about them. Basically, overnight oats is just a way of soaking your oats so that you have a porridge-like consistency in your oats, but they're not cooked. I really like it because it's really quick. I can do a batch of them together, pop them in the fridge, and then time just does its thing, and then they're ready to eat in the morning, which is really awesome. They're also really good in summer because it's not a hot breakfast. You just eat them cold out of the fridge, which is awesome. We also really like oats around here because not only are they a cheap and frugal breakfast, they're also really filling, and we find if we have a good filling breakfast and we have something like low GI oats, then we're not tempted to snack as much during the day, particularly not during the morning. But the other thing is they are so flexible. Really, you can change the flavor and you can make oats into anything that you want because they're so versatile. So today I'm going to share with you my really basic overnight oats recipe. We are going to do a twist on it, so we're going to do a basic overnight oats, which is great for the kids. We're also going to do overnight Proats, which is protein powder in with your oats, which adds a little bit of extra protein. So if you maybe have older kids or if you want to have more protein in your breakfast, it's a really simple way to do that and it tastes really great. But the great thing is this is a base recipe and you can take the flavors in whatever direction you want to go. So while you've possibly seen lots of recipes that call for lots of different ingredients, this is all you really need. Obviously oats, and I prefer the quick oats. I just think that they break down a lot easier. So we always use quick oats. You can use rolled oats, or you can take rolled oats and chuck them in your Ninja or your blender and just break them up a little bit. But the quick oats, because they're smaller, just break down a bit quicker and it makes a nice consistency. So oats, you'll need some sort of milk, and it doesn't really matter what milk you use. If you use full cream milk or light milk or skim milk, or if you choose to use a non-dairy milk, either way it will work. Just need a liquid. You also need some form of yogurt to make it creamy. So plain Greek yogurt is what we prefer. If you like to use a flavored yogurt, you can do that. It's no problem. And again, you could use a non-dairy yogurt. That would be fine as well. The combination of the oats, the milk, and the yogurt make it nice and creamy and a lovely consistency. And then you're just going to need something probably to sweeten it and maybe to flavor it. But so really, we really only need 4 ingredients to make this happen. Oats, milk, yogurt, and a sweetener. Which way you want to go with the sweetener doesn't matter. We're going to add some flavor to it, but that's going to come later. This is our basis that we're going to start with. Now the flavor of your overnight oats can come from a bunch of different ways depending on what you like. So you can, if you're going to do the Proats, you can add some flavor from your protein powder, or you can opt to do a plain or vanilla flavor and add your different flavors in different ways. Fruit is a great way to add flavor to your oats, and you can really get fancy with what you add. You could do a Choc Banana, so you could add chocolate powder or a chocolate protein powder and bananas. You could do strawberries and cream. You could also go for a more traditional, like cinnamon and brown sugar. If you're going to do the brown sugar, I would probably leave out the other sweetener like the honey or the maple syrup. Banana and honey is another great one. You can even get really fancy and start to do things like carrot cake flavor and pumpkin spice, and there's a whole bunch of different ways that you can go, but let's keep it really simple today. We're going to go with some really classic flavors because that's what I've got on hand and that's what we like. The other thing that you can also do is look at adding toppers, which are going to change the flavor as well. So one of the things that I really like to do is strawberry and cream. The cream comes from the yogurt, and then add toasted coconut on top. And it's really simple, but it's really freaking amazing. It tastes really nice. Shannon's a big fan of a banana, so honey banana or a choc banana in his overnight oats. But I can leave a list of whole different ideas, but that's the flavor portion of it. And the toppers, we don't need to get quite that complicated just yet. So let's jump in and make our bases. All right, I am just going to quickly open this oat and chuck it into my big container of oats. Simply because it's easier to work from. And this is how easy it is. Depending on the size serve that you want, I prefer to go for a 1/3 of a cup, which is a smaller size. Shannon likes a larger size, so we're going to do 1/2 a cup for him. So let's start with me. I'm going to do a 1/3 of a cup into my 2 containers. And I'm going to do 2 different styles. So my ones that you see over here is going to be a really basic recipe that's great for kids. Shannon, we're going to do the Proats for him. So I'm going to put protein powder in these 2 as well. So for Shannon, we're doing the 1/2 a cup. And this is important to remember because once we've done the oats, so Shannon is 1/2 a cup of oats. We're going to do 1/2 a cup of milk and 1/2 a cup of yogurt for him. And then for me, I'm going to do a 1/3 of a cup of milk and a 1/3 of a cup of yogurt. And we may have to use some of the vanilla yogurt because I don't think there's enough of the Greek style yogurt, but whatever yogurt you use doesn't really matter. I just don't know that I've got enough. So now we just mix it together. Now my one at this point is thicker than Shannon's one, which is runnier, which is simply because the plain Greek yogurt is thicker than the flavoured vanilla yogurt. But it won't make a difference in the end with the consistency. And we are now going to add protein powder to this one as well, which is also going to thicken it up. And you'll probably find, because we add the protein powder, that this one will actually be thicker than this one, which doesn't have protein powder in it. So let's get on to the next step, which is to flavour it. All right, so we are going to add a scoop of this protein powder. It really doesn't matter which one you use. This is just what we have. So we're going to make Shannon's serve into Proats. And I'm just using the recommended serving size of protein powder, whatever it says on the back. You can use a 1/2 serve if you don't want quite that much. Doesn't really matter, but this is just the recommended serving size for this protein powder. We're just going to add that one in there and mix this one around. And for my one, which I'm going to do a strawberries and cream, I'm going to add maple syrup. And you probably want a teaspoon or a tablespoon. I don't really measure. I just sort of, you know, add like that much. And now we're going to mix these through. One of the things you do want to make sure that you do is just get round into all of the corners and make sure that you have mixed everything through. I've been guilty of not doing that before, and you will end up with a dry spot, but just make sure that it's all mixed together and you will be fine. So at this point, all we've put in is oats, milk, yogurt, and a sweetener. So we've got maple syrup in the smaller container, which is my one. The sweetener for the larger container, which is Shannon's, is the protein powder. It's flavored vanilla. So he's got flavor and sweetener from the vanilla. I have sweetener from the maple syrup. At this point, you can add your fruit if you want to and just leave it in there overnight. Particularly great if you just want to grab and go in the mornings. So if you're busy and you want to eat on the go, chuck any fruit that you want to put in there now. I'd leave any toppers. If you're going to add something that's going to go soggy, I'd leave them aside. Maybe just put them in a little container and have them so you can dump them on top of your overnight oats when you want to eat them. You can add the fruit now, or you can leave it and you can add it in the morning, which is what I'm going to do so that I can show you guys the consistency of this before I add anything else. It's going to give you guys an idea of what this is going to be like as a base before we start adding in all of our extras. So let's go and pop this in the fridge and we will touch back in the morning when it's time for breakfast. Put these in containers that are airtight. And we're going to put them in the fridge and let them do their thing. Hey guys, good morning. Let's go make some oats. Let's jump in and have a look at what we've got here. So this is the smaller serve, which is going to be my serve. This is the one that is just oats, milk, and Greek yogurt. And you can actually see how thick that is. And all of the oats have just soaked up the liquid, broken down, and they are ready to be eaten. So I'm actually going to move this over into this bowl. But you could just eat these straight out of the container. And if you wanted to do a grab and go breakfast, I would actually put the fruit in them when you're making them, and they'll sit in there and it'll be fine. The fruit will hold together, particularly if you're doing things like bananas and strawberries. It'll be perfect. So this would also be really good for kids. This one, it's ready to go. We are going to put some strawberries on top of that one. This will be my one. This is sort of my favorite at the moment, which is Greek yogurt, maple syrup, strawberries, and I'm really liking these toasted coconut flakes. These ones are from Aldi. The bag wasn't very expensive. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think it was like $4 for the bag. The only thing is, if you're going to use these, I would just add them at the end so they don't go soggy, so they stay crisp. I don't know if you can hear the crack, but they're nice and crisp, so just chuck them on at the end before you go and serve them. And it's a really nice crunch with the soft oats. So that's my breakfast. I'll move this out of the way, and then let's have a look at the other one that we did, which was the overnight oats with the protein powder. So this one is more of a Proats. And this one I just used regular vanilla yogurt, which is a lot runnier than the Greek yogurt. And although it's thickened up a little bit, you can see it's still a lot runnier than the other yogurt that I made. So if you like a runnier porridge, then maybe the regular cheap yogurt rather than a thicker yogurt is the way to go, or just cut down either the amount of milk or the amount of yogurt that you put in. But we've got a really thick overnight oats, we've got a runnier overnight oats. So this has vanilla protein powder in it. If you don't want to use the protein powder but you want the vanilla flavor, and just use vanilla essence. I've done that in the past and that's really nice. And Shan likes to put banana in his oats, so we're going to chuck some banana on there for him. It works really well overnight. You could actually just chuck the banana in as you're making this, and then it's ready to go first thing in the morning. You can just grab the container out of the fridge and just take it and go. You don't have to dish it up into a bowl if you don't want to, otherwise that's ready to go. You can add toppers, you could add some seeds or some nuts or something to that to make it a bit crunchy if you wanted to. You could just leave it like this. A little bit of honey over the top of it would be really nice as well. But otherwise, that's it. That's overnight oats. Really quick, really simple. Alright you guys, well there you have it. That's overnight oats. So quick, it's so easy. The great thing is that you can actually make these as a batch. You can get 3 or 4 days quite easily out of these in the fridge. So you could do 3 or 4 days worth of breakfasts in one go, have them ready in the fridge, grab and go, or you can plate them up and have them at home in the morning if you want. They're really lovely to have, particularly in summer, because they're so cold straight out of the fridge. It's amazing. But you're still getting all of those low GI carbs. You're getting a really good filling start to the day. Definitely, I think, stops our kids from snacking quite so much, particularly in the morning. So much oats, fruit, yogurt. Pretty hard to go past it. I actually think it's pretty good. So that's it from me today. I'm gonna go and enjoy my breakfast. If you enjoyed today's video, if you could please give it a thumbs up, I would really appreciate that. Lets me know the kind of content you guys are enjoying and what you would like to see more of. And if you would like to see more of these things, then I would really appreciate it if you would also hit that subscribe button down below so you can be notified when my new videos come out. I do have heaps of new content in the works for you guys, and that little red button down there, that's the best way to be notified when that new stuff comes out. Well, that's it from me today. I'm going to go and eat my breakfast, which I really want to kind of do now. I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye. I've been dressed for like 30 minutes and I've managed to get food all over myself. Honestly, you can't take me anyway. So, how was your breakfast, Chad?